Hi everyone, I'm back. I don't know for how long, but I just wanted to come online because there's been some very important things, things that's been happening all around us, and I'm sorry. I apologize for being away for so long. I've been working on some things in my own life, and just recently I lost one of my babies. The picture that you see here is of my baby Kit, I called her, and I went out one day and I had let them out of their house because I was transferring them to their summer place to so they could be cooler. And but anyway, it was raining that day, and I went back inside to get their food, and when I came back out, she was just laying there dead. I mean, she just fell over dead in the garden, so that's where I found her. And so, yeah, I just hurt me so bad. She was just a sweet little girl, and I miss her so. So this little video is dedicated to her. Plus, there's some things that I do want to talk about in other videos, and that's why I need to get these out because time's running out, guys. I'm going to title this video, "We have less than 4 years left until the probation closes." And I hope I'm doing better than this since I was last on. My old videos I'm going to leave up for reference. I'm going to check through them and see if I've missed anything that I'm going to talk about. But there's some really important things I also need to talk about. We just came out of a water contamination event, I call it, and that's what I wanted to also talk about next, briefly, and to get on with some other things about what's going on and why we don't have that much time left at all. But what I wanted to talk briefly here was about the chemical spill that happened in my location, my area. And just recently, still more reports in the newspaper were coming out saying that they were going to sue Freedom Industries for allowing the spill-off to continue back into the Elk River, which we received our drinking water from the water company. But I feel that the water company should also take responsibility as well. Plus, there was other chemicals that were spilled into the river, which was not told to the public. We serviced over 300,000 people in the municipal water system. And so my concern is, well, it's not much of a concern of anything because it's typical of the place that I live in, and I'm basically trying to figure out a way to find a better water source myself, and because they were even saying that funeral homes were dumping formaldehyde into the water. And you know what formaldehyde does to you? It can make you basically stupid. I know that's not a good choice of words, but that's what happens when you intake these different types of chemicals, especially PPH that was in the water, along with the MCHM. And of course, that the chemicals in the water have eventually flowed down into the Canal River. Whether it had diluted some of that before it even got to the Ohio River, and even into the Mississippi, well, who knows? Basically, all of our water supplies are being polluted, and along with what has happened down in the Gulf, that really doesn't help us too much about trying to find clean water anywhere anymore, unless you save rain barrels and rainwater, like for your gardens, and you know, to water if you own any pets, animals, and even yourself and your families where you're going to find clean water anymore. But someone said, she was a Christian, and she said that there was something in the Bible that those that believe and love the Lord, that nothing harmful or any poison wouldn't harm them at all. I'll find that so I can quote that better to you. It comes from Psalms 91, verse 10, and it tells about how the Lord will watch over us, and that no evil or no plague will come nigh you. So even if we drink poison water, it won't harm us at all. As says, nor for the pestilence that walketh in the darkness, or the destruction that wasteth at noonday, he will take care of us. Also in Mark 16:18, in the King James Version, they shall take up serpents, and if they drink up any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. And they shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. Okay, now my next story is that about the BML and the Bundy family. Guys, this has been going on since April of this year, and I was wanting to report on this sooner, but I was trying to find some more information on this. But the BML, with the Bureau of Land Management, is claiming that they want to save a rare desert tortoise. Now that's their plan, okay, which is a lie, because they're going to use something to take something from you, so don't believe it. So what they've done in Nevada is that they want to basically kick the Bundy family, who's lived on their land, is public land for for generations, ever since like the 1800s. The Bundy family has lived here in this location, and the man, his name is Clovis Bundy, he grows produce on his farm, and he raises cattle. You know, it's just basically a ranch, a farm. But the government wants to toss them off their property, which they have lived there for a long time, just to save like a rare desert tortoise. And they had omitted who takes care of the land, the animal management on certain lands that they say that they claim they do manage, that they have a hard time even managing these tortoises, and some of them were even euthanized. So actually this is a lie that has been going on. And so what I'm trying to say here, though, because I'll leave the links to everything, you all can read it if you don't know this or haven't followed it. That they're basically, we're starting that this was a start of a prophecy that was prophesied a while back, and of a revolt that would start in the West. I think it was by Dudeman, who gave this prophecy. He also said that America was going to burn by fire. So is this the start of this? And guys, you got to wake up and think that, well, if it's not going to happen to you, it's going to happen, because the government is going to try to take away what you have, your homes, your lands, you name it. They're going to want control of everything. And I didn't know if this was going to be. I think it's going to be a second parter, but like I said, I've been gone so long. I had a lot to share, and I also wanted to say too that not only what they're trying to do is close that, because they've already moved into Utah. They're moving into the Utah area. There's not much been said about this, but it is happening. This is just a little story under the radar, and some people have been talking about it, talking about what those that are in the know and what the government is planning to do, because that is one of their plans of a depopulation, Operation Agenda 21. Remember what happened to Ruby Ridge? Look that up. And also, I wanted to mention, okay, and I did find that page on America Will Burn. It was from Dimitri Duduman, who gave that prophecy. And he was from Romania, and God told him to come to this country and to preach to America and warn America what God had said, that because of America's sins has reached to heaven, He is going to destroy America. And it is, I want to tell you now, because at first I wasn't too comfortable about telling people to leave their cities. But I'm telling you now, you have to leave the cities, because even God is calling out, leave the cities now. Because it's only going to be a matter of time, and our time is running out. We have less than 4 years left, guys. 4 years, less than 4 years left, or even less than that, means that the Great Tribulation is coming. Now, a lot of people didn't believe me, because when I said I wasn't for sure whether it was going to be a 7-year tribulation or it's a 3.5 years. No, the Great Tribulation is 3.5 years, because this is when the Antichrist will only have a short time to do what he has to do. And our test, if you're a Christian, your test your faith will be tested. Okay? And because this was mentioned in Revelation, study Revelation and also study the book of Daniel and the minor prophets about what is to take place in this period of time, and also concentrate on the words of Jesus and what He had said and warned what would take place in the end times. Here is a map. It's a small map. I just wish it was a little bigger. If you go to 50states.com or graphicmaps.com, you could probably get an idea of some of the major cities. I need to find an official list, but I'm not really sure if there's really an official list. But I'm going to leave pages to this, and you guys can read all this. The prophecy is on here, which he had received back in September of 1984. And said from the beginning, this was published in May of 2009, from the middle of the country, some of the people will start fighting against the government. So what did I mention about the Bundy family, and they're in Nevada? So that was like close to the middle of the country. And mentioned that California, Florida, New York, and Las Vegas, Nevada will burn in one day. Now, how can that happen in one day? Nuclear war. The Lord also revealed to me a word, proliferation, and the Lord has led me down this path to say that who was always behind the proliferation program. And the big secret was Israel has its own biggest nuclear program in Dimona in the Negev desert. And if you don't believe that because of how Israel is so small, as people claim, which it is, it's a small country, but that doesn't mean that the size of a country, because there's a saying, but I'm getting close to the ends here, so I'm going to have to continue this in the second part. And I'll leave all links, and I'll talk to you guys in a few minutes. Okay, I hope to see you all in part 2. Y'all take care, and be ready, guys, and leave the cities once you have time. Jesus loves you guys, and but all things have to come to pass.